Outside the villa, the leaves of a giant ferns brushed against the whitewashed walls. Swaying in the waves of heat, a tangle of lianas stretched down to scratch at the windows, dulling the light with flickering shadows. The singing of the cicadas and screeching of the macaws threaded through the branches like delicate points of sharp needles. The humid air overflowed into the room with the succulent breath of rotting flowers. For some hours I had been watching Marilyn sleeping on the chalky whiteness of the styrofoam, her arms outstretched, some cables coiled around her legs pulsing with blue and violet LEDs, the hairs on her skin glistening with plasma, like the necklaces of some fairy princess. Yet I sensed the strength of an anaconda writhing inside her. Whether clone or machine, replicant or human, it didn't really matter. She was beautiful and filled me with awe and wonder that left me trembling. I thirsted for her voice, her looks, her every touch. She seemed an elixir for my soul. How could I live without her? I knew I would drown in the sweet nectar of her tears. She invited me to die slowly in this seductive liquid death, and I knew I could not refuse her. My fingers lifted her armour plating, one of the feet edged between the shutters of her armpits. My mouth gently touched a soft crater in the snow. A frond of subtropical foliage shadowed the stubble of my jaw. Her blonde hair fell in scorched coils amongst the beams of my ribs. My elbow dented the cooling lava streaming down her thighs. Her fingernails penetrated the flesh of some smooth, delicate road. Again her teeth parted like a chainsaw in slow motion, with shafts of light streaking out of a dark cave. The invisible sun beat heavily behind the shimmering cloud cover of her skin, the whirring trill of her voice echoing along corridors of shot after shot after shot, our breathing dribbling down the walls in a cohesive shower. Later, I found her waiting for me on the upper balcony of the villa, where you could look down on the expanse of river and the floating towers of drowned London in the far distance. As I approached her through the darkened corridor, I could see the sunlight caressing her bare skin, holding her in a silken embrace, the cloying scent of Chanel teasing my nostrils. Without thinking, I pulled off my mask in order to see her more clearly. Her eyes were a pale, powdery blue, shaded by long, fronded lashes, the weight of which slowed the movement of her eyelids with a seemingly drugged ecstasy. Her skin was a soft ochre hue which blended perfectly with the petite, cancerous growth of a mole that blossomed on her cheek. For a long time people had disguised or had such growth surgically removed, but it had recently become fashionable to paint them like tropical flowers, thus giving a certain exotic morbidity to these carnivorous plants and to their prey. She smiled slightly, revealing the gloss of her perfect teeth.